Alrighty, Sharp Customs, we are rolling. It is New Year's Eve, not Christmas Eve. We've already done that. It's New Year's Eve. I'm actually watching the clock. It is 11:30 where we are. We just had our daughter. She's out east, PEI, New Brunswick. They've already had their New Year's. They just phoned us, wished us a Happy New Year, and I was like, but it's not even New Year's here yet. But we figured we would fire out a New Year's Eve video just for all of yous, because we can. That's why. You know how it works here at Sharp Customs. And yeah, we're doing the whole Lamborghini thing. We were gonna try something different tonight, but maybe we'll do that tomorrow in the new year. And we're gonna try and get this video. I'm gonna try and watch the time on the TV. And we're gonna try and get this done before New Year's. Number 5, of course, you've seen the snow Lambo go with the doors open and the headlights pop up. Well, this is kind of number 5 is kind of I got the doors, I got both doors cut, but we're working on the 5th generation of hinge system, and I thought I would show you it because you've seen the crazy metal hinges underneath that one, and there's a lot of stuff going on, you know, plates, hinges, arms. I'm going to show you this one, and then I'll show you basically this is 4th generation. 4th generation. That went through 2. This has gone through 2. What's in here right now is awesome. Other than, I'll show you, but here we go. I'm just going to lift the door because I got some other stuff to talk about. The door goes higher. I like that. The door goes up, you know, kind of more where it should be. And I'm just using a cheapy radio, an old Traxxas TQ radio to demonstrate. And yeah, whoa, and I've got a noisy servo in there. I think something broke. I think something just broke there. Yeah, the little plastic arm on the servo horn broke. I thought that might be an issue. Let's just unplug it. Let's move on. Let's move on. I'll take this door off, and I'll show you basically the new style. It does work good. That was just my, but it's very basic. So as you can see right there, the plastic horn broke off the bolt because it's at the very tip. But yeah, it's a very simple system. The servo just pushes that little horseshoe. What I didn't like about this setup, even though it's more basic, I didn't like how close this was kind of to the wheel well opening, even though I know it doesn't really affect it. It doesn't go near it, you know, opening and closing it. Basically, I've got the same setup here on these 2 servos, but what I've done is I've just shortened the arm, the little lever action. I've made it a little bit lower. That's really the only difference. And I'm hoping these, because they're kind of done the same way. As you can see, I get the bolt going through the plastic piece, little metal tab on top, and yeah, this one was a lot further to the end of the servo. Maybe that's why it broke. I was hoping, so I'm just going to set this back. I just got a whole bunch. I'll just try and let me look at the time. we got time. I just got a whole bunch of, you know, gifts from Amazon. Even I call them gifts from Amazon, even though you prepay for them. But lots of new servos. Got 2 packs of these. They're 20 kg servos. That's what these ones are. They're MG995s. 20 kg. More than enough to open these doors. The one that's underneath here is a 15 kg. I'm always sick of cutting and splicing wires, you know, the leads together, so I got like a 40 pack of all different lengths, TYs, you know, kind of save myself from looking for stuff. Got some more of the 60 kgs, which they're kind of overkill, you know, for the steering and what I use them for, but I like them. They're cheap. Why not? Why not just have them run? But so what I've been working on the last few days, don't know if that's going to stay up now. It should. A little bit of 3D printing. I got this going on. This is a Lamborghini cockpit. Yeah, it's been a lot of printing time, let's just say that. This is like, I haven't even completely finished it. Once I do this seat over here, that'll be 6 pieces, split down the middle, cut in half. But I also had to do the dash, steering wheel, and lower part of the front, more or less in 3 pieces because of the steering wheel. But this is what I'm going to show you. So my cross measurement from here to here, let's see if we can get it in here, across the windshield right here, that's what I want you to see. That's like almost perfect. You can see where the cutouts are. That would be where the A-pillars are. And if I line that up, that cross measurement is perfect. But here you go. Look at the rest of it. Probably more of a side view. This is supposed to be down here on the sill, and we're a little shy here. We're a little shy making it back to the back part, which is this measurement height wise. I'm pretty sure I know what kind of happened there. As far as the length from, you know, from the windshield to the back, not really too sure what happened there. But it's like you gotta add like almost 2.5 inches. So, you know, before finishing this, I mean, it could still work for a model, I suppose, but I ended up printing out today. I did like a slice cut, enlarged everything, and this just came out of the printer like 15 minutes ago, and it's just a slice of the interior but oversized, so that I could kind of have a look at it. You know what I'll do? I'll take this one out, we'll flip it around, that way you get a little bit better idea. And I wasn't expecting it to fit in my fiberglass body the way it's supposed to fit, you know, in its, let's say it's 3D printed body. I just wanted it to be close. So here's your windshield part, here's the back, here's your sill, and this is, I just printed this, whoa, just to get an idea. So that basically goes up here, the dash goes like so, the sill should be somewhere around there, and I'm not sure if I'm still too short, like, you know, lengthwise. I don't know if that's supposed to go back there like that. I would kind of think so. it's kind of really hard to tell because you got this back piece here, this here, which is technically your rear firewall, and I know the rear firewall's like right in this area somewhere. So yeah, it's kind of hard with these, you know, these 3D printed pieces that you kind of make. That obviously this is a lot closer. This could work at these dimensions, but I'm unsure. I'm very unsure. But yeah, there you go. It was a quick, kind of a quickish. Like even here, like it's got me. You know, I figured, you know, downloading a file or buying a file of a, you know, 3D printed Lamborghini Countach, the bits and pieces would be a little bit closer printed out. That, to me, you know, all this missing stuff in here, and that's, I don't know, maybe it's in the body, maybe the rest of it, the jam and stuff, here and here, maybe it's actually in the body of the 3D print. I have not looked at that part of the file. I only looked at the cockpit part of the file because that's really all I was after, was just trying to create, you know, something different, because in this car, if you were to remove the fuel tank, put it somewhere else, you could actually put it up front. There's lots of room up front. This would look pretty good sitting in there. You know, maybe not this size. Maybe this size would work. I don't know. I haven't tried it. But yeah, we're getting close to the countdown to New Year's. But thought I would just give you a quick little rundown, the whole 3D printing stuff. I actually have somebody else 3D printing me one of these, and he's going to have to make all the same adjustments that I had to make this afternoon. Longer front to back, a little taller top to bottom. It was, you know, you get into this 3D printing stuff to a fiberglass body, and it's like, yeah, sometimes you got to make some adjustments here and there. And like I say, right here, right there, you look right there. I'm gonna tell you, just this right here, it's like 65 hours. That's 65 hours print time. These bits, and they're not, trust me, they're not perfect by any means. You know, had color changes along the way. Everything's just kind of, I just used my soldering gun to hot melt the plastic together, just to hold it, just because this plastic's too thin for the hot staples. But the detail on the dash is pretty cool. Even if I printed out just the dash and the steering wheel to put in my cars, would still be you know, would still be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know, it's a bit of weight, but like I said, 65 hours. I know the printer does it all by itself. You just set it and forget it and kind of hope for the best. And the majority of this, yeah, the back of the seat here, I'll show you the back of the seat. I don't know if the camera can catch it, but you can see that the whole back of the seat did not print very well. And you end up with, you know, depending on how you lay the part, you end up with texture, you know, there, down in here, you know, which is pretty hard to clean up in those places. So it's all about how you lay the part in the printer, how fast you print, blah blah blah, you know. There's the back. You can see how rough this was all, you know, this was all because it printed on its backside like that. And because there was a bump out here, they had to put all support there. Why it didn't support the back of the seat properly, that's kind of beyond me. But these things happen, you know. You learn as you go. Not everything comes out perfect. Sometimes it's mediocre. Sometimes it's okay. But yeah, we got like 5 minutes until New Year's. I'm just gonna put it out there. Happy New Year to everybody. I'll see you next year. Shark Customs. Peace. I'm out.